Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Come on in the room and get settled. We are here for the weekly energy reading. Hello, hello. I am Mambo, and this is Weekly Wisdom, where we come together on Sundays and figure out what we need to know about the week ahead and just prepare and get ready together, okay? Let me go ahead and turn off this music. Okay. So hello, hello. If you are new here, my name is Mambo Soleil. I am Coven Mother and Vision of Dawn Tour. I am the founder and the facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I am your weekly reader, and I'm a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. Hello, hello. Sundays we do weekly energy readings. We do weekly wisdom. Again, this is where we just get a little bit of a roadmap of what the week ahead has in store for us. So I'm going to jump straight into that reading in just a moment. As soon as I find my lighter. Didn't have to dig in my bra this time. It was right in front of me. If you are here because you saw me post in a group that I'm going to be taking questions from the audience, I definitely will. But I do that after I'm done with the general reading. So please wait for me to finish the general reading before you start putting your personal questions in the comments. This is the weekly energy reading, so the readings are free. Love offerings are encouraged. And my Cash App and my PayPal are scrolling below. And as promised on Thursday, because I knew that there were some people that did not get to get their Thinning of the Veil reading, if there is anybody that still wants that in preparation for this coming weekend, which is Fetgede or Day of the Dead, depending on your religious and cultural background, I'm more than happy to do that for you as well. But again, I'm not going to do readings until I'm done with the general and collective reading. So we will get started on that in just a minute. I'm trying to light my Palo without melting my nails. Hold on a second. Okay. I just jumped straight into everything. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody was able to get some rest this weekend. I hope you were able to find some peace. I've had a really peaceful day. Did have a couple of readings today, but they were pretty chill. So I was still able to rest, do a little bit of cooking for the week. I like to cook on Sundays because my weeks tend to be busy. So if I cook on Sundays and have like roasted veggies and like healthy things in the fridge, I'm a lot less likely to eat trash throughout the week. So yeah, I was able to get some rest in, able to watch some old movies. Finally watched First Wives Club, R.I.P. to Diane Keaton. So hope everyone else had a little bit of rest as well. Let's just go ahead and jump straight into it and get started with the general reading. I'm going to start with Millennial Tarot. And if I feel pulled to use another deck, I will. I've been feeling a pull towards Tarot of the Divine recently, but I feel like I've misplaced that deck and I cannot find it. I may end up repurchasing it. But today we're going to start with Millennial. What do we as a collective need to know about the week ahead of us? What energies does the week ahead of us have in store for us? What is the wisdom? What do we need to be mindful of as we navigate and prepare for the week ahead of us? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hello, Labalyn. Hello, Sanidra. Hello, Aisha. Hello, Adelaida. Hello, Tiffany. And hello to anyone else who's in the room. Those are just the names that I see at the moment. Some of us are learning some really, really important lessons about the ways in which we teach people how to treat us. Um, are they line dancing? Like, what the fuck is going on up there? Oh, sorry about that. I got distracted with all the stomping. Some of us are learning some really important lessons about the ways that we teach people how to treat us, right? Um, and these lessons have a lot to do with the ways in which we keep boundaries or the ways in which we allow people to push our boundaries or test our boundaries way too early. Um, we're having some heavy realizations about, I don't want to say love bombing, but the ways in which we let people attach themselves to us too quickly. Um, why it is we have to be cautious of people whose idea of having favor in our lives means that they don't have to acknowledge our boundaries. How, yes, that is a form of manipulation, but it's also a form of self-sabotage and manipulation that we've internalized. This is a week of personal and emotional breakthrough that is a lesson that's long overdue, yes, but the wisdom is one that strengthens us in terms of how we move forward in the future. And a huge part of the reason why these lessons are coming to bear is because that there are some of us that have really strong connections coming in the future, and we can't really compromise those strong connections with this piss poor behavior around the maintenance of our boundaries. We have to tighten up. We have to change some things. The Lover's card. Lover's card is quickly becoming one of my favorite cards in the tarot the more that I study it. In the Hoodoo Tarot, this is known as the card of courting. And I love that definition, right? Um, Part of courting in the dating process is literally teaching somebody how to treat you, teaching them how you want to be treated, teaching them what your understanding of commitment and a relationship is. It is a slow process that needs to take place before a marriage or before a long-term commitment, right? And the Lover's card is very much about that. It's about understanding how your actions have consequence over someone else. Understanding how your inability to treat someone kindly is not only a reflection of a poor perception that you have of self, but that it's a misalignment, right? And the Lover's card is about alignment. How are you aligned in a way that allows somebody to love you and step into commitment with you, right? Um, and it's an important energy. It's important to be aligned with people who claim to love you and to move in alignment. Now, a lot of us who unfortunately were not taught what it looks like to look for certain red flags, what it looks like to evaluate that behavior, we're teaching ourselves what that means. And if we're fortunate, we have good examples around us in terms of friends who are in relationship, people in our community. But that apprentice energy of the Page of Pentacles means that many of us are actively training ourselves to be much more perceptive in terms of our relationships, whether that's romantic, friendship, business, whatever, right? We're training ourselves to be perceptive, to move forward, to set ourselves up in the ways in which we want, as opposed to letting charismatic people just come into our lives and bulldoze us, right? Um, King of Wands energy is fun because it's charismatic, because it will sweep you off of your feet, because they have such big ideas. And a creative person, a person who's flashy, that shit can be fun. But in its debilitation, at its root, at its misalignment, it's an energy that is very manipulative. It's also an energy that's very selfish, right? Even in their charisma, they're focused on what they can get out of you, how they can get over on you, right? And I think the reason why we have this Lover's card and this Page of Pentacles is because some of us who are watching either live or in the replay, have a tendency to keep getting swept up in people's energy, getting wrapped up in the charisma of a person, the potential of a person, as opposed to slowing down and getting to know them and watching patterns over time, right? King of Wands moves very, very quickly. They move very quickly, and that's on purpose. The faster they move, the more quickly they can get commitment out of you, the least amount of time you have to ask questions and to poke holes and to pay attention to the areas of life that aren't making sense, aren't adding up, right? This is deception. Even if it feels good in the beginning, it's still deceptive, right? And there's only a matter of time before you look up and you realize, like, oh, this person's getting over on me. This person is manipulating me. This person continually says things that don't add up, right? And yes, it's fucked up. Yes, it's fucked up that somebody's coming into your life and actively manipulating you in order to take from you. But the difficult aspect of the Seven of Swords that a lot of people have a hard time admitting is that, yes, this person is manipulating you, but they're not doing it in a way that is, it's not even slick, right? And the only reason why they're able to get over on you is because of your own tendency towards self-sabotage, your own tendency to allow sloppiness or allow a lack of boundaries, right? When we look at the traditional representation of the Seven of Swords, we see somebody in an open field stealing a bunch of shit. And then they're so sloppy in how they're stealing, they're just dropping shit. They're smiling because they think they're getting over, but they're dropping shit, right? So there's a sloppiness to how this person moves. It's almost as if you have to actively ignore the sloppiness. So this is a week where we got to ask ourselves, when we look at the people around us who have come to, the easiest way I can explain that King of Wands energy is that it feels great in the beginning. But after a while, it's so hot and it's so heavy. It's like, damn, I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted, right? You got to ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Okay, what was I getting out of the manipulation in the beginning? What did I choose to ignore because I wanted to hyperfixate on the fun parts, on the ways in which my ego was being soothed, right? Again, love bombing. It can be an uncomfortable conversation to have, but again, in order for you to come into alignment, in order for you to be in your Gemini energy, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest, right? Because it's easy to blame. It's easy to blame the charismatic person. It's easy to be like, oh, I got manipulated, but you had a role in the manipulation as well. And that's an uncomfortable thing to sit with. But the only way that you can heal and move forward, Eight of Cups, the only way that you can actively do the inner work is to acknowledge your role in it. Are some of us probably going to have a falling out with certain people? Absolutely. Because Eight of Cups is walking away from something that no longer serves you. But if you're constantly falling out with people, if you're constantly walking away from situations, that's not necessarily healthy. I love that in this deck, it's the card of inner work, because yes, you're walking away from something that no longer serves you, but what are you walking towards? Are you walking towards further self-reflection that's going to allow you to move differently so that you don't continually find yourself getting wrapped up in King of Wands energy, getting bulldozed by charisma, getting wrapped up in the superficiality? Again, that's why the Page of Pentacles is here. How are you training yourself? What is the lesson you're learning? Page of Pentacles can be self-indulgent. The Pentacles can be self-indulgent. So again, with the pages being students, the Page of Pentacles is somebody who's learning how to not be self-indulgent and how to be disciplined. And being honest with the fact that you allowed this to take over because it was easy, it was fun, it was right? And then reflecting over yourself so that you don't continually fall into situations like this. This is a week where we are confronted with the things that scare us about us. Instead of hyperfixating on the people that have disappointed us, we look at our patterns in those people and get really honest about who it is that we are that keeps allowing ourselves to fall into these situations. And then in facing that difficulty and getting real about that difficulty and being authentic about that, we get to ask ourselves, am I going to confront this and am I going to conquer it? Am I going to teach myself what it looks like to confront my fears, right? We know that the strength card is about looking at the thing you need to confront and doing it scared. A lot of us are not having the kinds of relationships we want, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, or business, because of the amount of inauthenticity in those relationships. We focus on the superficial, we focus on the fun, we focus on what looks good on the outside, and then we ignore all kind of shit. And then when those things that we ignore come back to bite us, Seven of Swords, we want to do a whole bunch of whining. But we knew we left the window open. We knew we left the door open. We knew we left the gate open and let a whole bunch of bullshit come in. So this is a week where we got to really get honest with ourselves. In order to be in that lover energy, that aligned energy, that energy where only the people who understand how their actions have consequence over our lives and who honor those consequences so much that they wouldn't betray us, they wouldn't play us, they wouldn't try to get over on us. In order for us to have that, there's a certain amount of discernment we have to have, not just about other people's behavior and actions, but in about the things that we are willing to compromise and why we're willing to compromise and what that compromise costs us. Okay? That is the general reading. Hey, Josie, good to see you. Walking away from old patterns right on time for the super full moon. I forgot that there's a full moon this week. What day is the super full moon, Bertal? Let me know. Because I still need to decide if I'm going to do a happy hour or an astral hour. And if the super full moon is later in the week, then I may do an astral hour. So that way I can just get that out of the way on Thursday. But let me know. Let me know the day. Next week. Oh, okay. Next week. No worries. No worries. I'm good, Josie. Good to see you, Lovana. Hey, Janine. All right. So since we're talking about relationships anyway, since that came up very strongly in the general reading, I'm just going to go ahead and do love and relationships next. That feels right. That feels appropriate. Hey, KFS. Good to see you. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need at this time about love and romance over the next week? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves and our habits and our environments that have impact over the ways in which we love others and are loved by others between October 27th and November 2nd? If there are any obstacles, barriers related to love, please illuminate them so we know how to conquer them. Give us insight into any of the experiences, lessons, blessings, breakthroughs we'll experience around matters of the heart over the next 7 days. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I swear to God, I love my nails, but I feel like I'm learning again how to shuffle with these damn things. Clarify the Five of Swords. What do we need to know about the Five of Swords? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Thank you. You have an earthly vibe today. It's because I'm well rested, Bertal. I'm very well rested. I slept until 9 o'clock this morning with no alarm. And some of you guys may be hearing that and being like, girl, that's not even that late. It's late for me. As somebody who eat with or without an alarm, spirit pulls them out of bed between 4 and 5 every day. Sleeping until 9 a.m. felt like the most delicious gift on the planet. And then I took the rest of the day just to move slowly. I did have a couple of readings, but they were just really easy. Heavy in terms of tone and topic, but very easy in terms of energy. So I've just had a really just deliciously slow and good day. So if that good sleep will change your life, it really will change your life. Thank you, La Balin. You may like I don't think I've done a close-up, but the little spiders on my nails. I love them. Let's see. So this love reading is really interesting. We got the Lover's card again, but in a different position. Quite a few of us are feeling love sick. And what I mean by love sick is that some of us, whether we are in relationship or single, we are so busy that busyness is causing us to be disconnected from our sensuality and from those who are closest to us. I'm going to use language that feels very gendered, but this is for anybody of any gender, male, female, whatever. But I'm going to talk about femininity and masculinity, right? And what I mean by that is that there are some of us who feel like emotionally, in order for us to be bosses, in order for us to be powerful, we have to deprioritize our lover girl energy or our lover boy energy. And it's not true. That is a falsity. Anytime we move within any polarity of energy, when we are super, super busy and we deprioritize love, or when we become so love lusty that we lose track of reality of life, either side of that polarity brings us out of balance. And I think some of us are working so much and so hard. We have a longing and a feeling of, I won't go as far as to say depression, but dissatisfaction that we're not ignoring. And we think that more money or more success or hitting some sort of external goal is going to be the answer. The answer is that we need to tap back into our love energy, right? Very first card, Ace of Wands. Again, a lot of us have been really, really blessed with a lot of opportunity recently, right? New beginnings, new ways of being able to take the things we fantasized about and longed for and to root that in reality. That is a major, major blessing. But what has happened with that is that some of us have gotten so hyper fixated on work that we have fallen out of alignment with being able to balance everything. Now, Queen of Pentacles, when she's in her alignment, she's literally the card of the working mother, meaning that she has it all, right? She's able to have her romance. She's able to be a boss in her work field, whatever that is. She's also an amazing mother. But when she is out of alignment, she is somebody that hyper fixates on success to the detriment of her relationships. If any of you have taken my tarot classes, you guys know that I always say Kris Jenner is the Queen of Pentacles. So think about a person like Kris Jenner, right? Who literally will throw her own children under the bus. It means that she gets a new contract, right? Even if it pisses off the kids, she's going to throw them under the bus to get them a contract, right? It's a very money over everything kind of energy when Queen of Pentacles is out of alignment, right? Which is difficult because Queen of Pentacles, next to the only person that is more loving than the Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Cups. So even though Queen of Pentacles can be very, very money hungry unintentionally, it doesn't mean that it doesn't make her sad. It actually makes her very, very fucking sad. And I think that there are some of you who are so fearful of losing out on these opportunities or missing these opportunities for forward advancement that you have either deprioritized your own partner, right? You're not checking in with them. You're not having sex with them. You're not making sure that you're doting on them or giving them the verbal affirmation or affection that they deserve. Or if you're single, you were just on your, fuck boys get money, fuck bitches get money energy. And there's a longing, there's a sadness in you as a result of that you're not acknowledging, right? So in this love reading, Spirit is saying, be careful. Like, yes, these opportunities are beautiful. Yes, they are blessings. Yes, you've done a lot to get these opportunities to come to you. But do you really want to convince yourself that in order for you to take advantage of these opportunities, you have to neglect love? You have to numb that part of yourself, right? And here's the thing. In those moments when you slow down, all you do is fantasize about love. All you do is think about what it is you want, right? Your partner's sitting right there, but instead of you connecting with them, you're fantasizing about what you could be doing with them or what you could be doing with somebody else, right? That's why the Page of Cups is here. There's an escapist aspect. You are running from something through the career stuff and through the professional stuff. And then you feel like love is like an escapist thing. It's not. It's a necessity, right? So again, we have this Lover's card calling us and asking us to look at ourselves, to get in alignment, to think about mutual consequence, to think about how it is we are treating other people, or particularly the people that we want to love on us or be in love with. So how are your actions setting you up for mutual consequence, or how is it setting you up to not have that, right? We end with, and I have to pull clarifiers over this because it's such an interesting card. We end with the Five of Swords. The route you're going on is not sustainable. It's only going to take you further away from the kind of love that you want. And so being honest with yourself is going to be really important. I love that this is the card of gaslighting in the Millennial Tarot. Some of us have really gaslit ourselves when it comes to this understanding of love. This belief where it's like, in order for me to be successful, I just have to hyperfixate on career. Well, that's a fucking lie, because if that were true, most CEOs wouldn't be married. When you look at most of the professional people and the successful people you know, they are in marriages and relationships. So why would your ancestors, why would God just pluck you out of nowhere and say, no, you're the one that has to be lonely in order to be successful? There's something you've gaslit yourself into believing. It's not serving you. And this Five of Swords is coming up to say, take this time now to shift your thoughts before you find yourself losing this thing that you actually care about, right? Queen of Wands. We already know that you're a bad bitch. We already know that you're successful. We already know that you garner a lot of favor. But that doesn't mean that you can't take that energy, that same charisma that makes you an amazing professional, doesn't mean that you can't take it and pour it into the way that you love. The other message around this, I know y'all don't want to hear it. Some of you guys are not going to have the kind of love that you want to get because your ego, Queen of Wands, won't allow you to make the gesture. You're in a marriage and you feel like, well, I don't want to, I want to be romance, but I don't want to say nothing to this nigga because why I got to say something, right? Some of you guys have a huge crush on somebody and you don't want to be the person to open your mouth and be like, hey, will you go get a drink with me? Because you feel like I'm the woman, I shouldn't have to do it. Okay, let your pride keep you on a throne lonely by yourself. Continue to be the beautiful woman that never has a partner. That's a choice. It's not going to kill you to make the first move. It's not going to kill you to be honest about the fact that you're attracted to someone. It doesn't take away from your power. If anything, it only strengthens it. Okay? So that is the love reading for this week. La Balin said Mia is F. Okay. All right, let's, hey Renee, good to see you. Let's do money next and then we'll wrap up with health and wellness, okay? Ancestors, angels, descended masters, spiritual wisdom, validated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about finances, about money, prosperity, abundance, and forward movement? What can we do to be tapped into our Jupiter energy of expansion when it comes to money this week? If there are any blockages around our finances, if there are any bad habits that need to be reeled in, please highlight those so that we can do what we need to do. Give us insight into what is in store for us as it relates to finances for the week of October 27th through November 2nd. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. If you all know anyone that would benefit from this reading, anyone who's interested in tarot or divination, anyone who's interested in weekly horoscopes or guidance, go ahead and share this video, share this link. If you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you did not already like the video, take a moment to like the video. I'm trying to grow the channel. The more people we have, the better. So go ahead and invite your folks in. This is a week around revelation of bad habits in general and walking away from them. That theme is coming back up again, and I find it interesting. Our financial expansion is dependent on us doing our inner work. Again, I haven't taught any and I need to get back to it. I say that almost once a month, but I need to get back to teaching financial trauma recovery. There are some things that we do with our money that we need to leave behind us. And I think that that gets highlighted in a really, there will be tonight, Nicole. So I did 3 card readings on Thursday. And because I wasn't able to get to everybody on Thursday, I'm going to pick those up tonight. But I want to get through the weekly reading first, and then I'll do the 3 card. So if you want the 3 card reading, just hold on. I have this and the health reading to get through, and then I'll take questions from people. And at that point, I can do it, okay? This is a week where we realize that there are certain things in terms of how we treat money, how we think about money that just need to be left alone, need to be left in the past. We don't want to repeat cycles. And I think a lot of us are coming to that realization and doing the inner work. I just got a download. A lot of that is around overspending in the holidays. I think that there are many of us who are feeling this pull to start overspending, to start buying shit that we don't need. And I think that the amount of reflection that we're going through during this time is causing us to look at that engage in internal reflection around why we associate the holidays with overconsumption and to walk away from it, right? That's further confirmed by the Seven of Swords. Really thinking about the ways in which we engage in certain types of self-sabotage by not paying attention to how things slip out of our hands, right? I think that this is going to be a week where we're also thinking about who we loan money to and why. And a lot of questions around that are going to come up. I think for many of us, thinking about how to create moments of celebration and experiences as opposed to engaging in overconsumption is really going to be at the forefront, right? Four of Wands being the heart of the card of homecoming, being the card of creating memories, but also establishing a stable foundation. These three cards together tell me that a lot of us are going into these last couple of months of the year thinking about how can we create better memories. How can we create feelings? How can we create environments that make us feel the way we want to feel, as opposed to just accumulating a bunch of shit, right? That brings us an immense amount of gratitude. It taps us into our feelings of being blessed, right? It brings us much more joy, gives us an opportunity to reflect over how far we've come, as opposed to feeling depleted and being drained, right? Through the overspending and the waste. This is a message about finances, yes, but it's also a message about our spiritual discipline, right? And it's interesting because I feel like, I don't know if it came up last week, but I do remember that there have been quite a few times where the financial reading, over the last month or so, where the financial reading has really asked us to think about our relationship to emotional spending. And with this message coming back up as it relates to the holidays, this is really tapping into this understanding of spiritual discipline, and that being something that helps us cope with nostalgic habits, right? Break certain nostalgic habits that are not helpful for us. Again, we started with that Eight of Cups. So doing the inner work of walking away from habits and things that don't serve us. I think that for a lot of us, we finally make that heart-mind connection with understanding how it is that overconsumption and impulse spending represents a lack of spiritual discipline. So I love that for us. We end with the King of Pentacles. These are habits we need to release anyway in order to maintain our legacy, in order for us to get to where we want to be financially, to be in that spirit of early retirement, to be in that place where we can take extravagant trips and, treat ourselves in a luxurious way, in a much more bigger demonstrative way. We are comfortable with sacrificing the smaller indulgences in the name of a greater gain. So I think I love this for us. I think that I really, really love this. To summarize, as we're going into the winter holidays, we're thinking about leaving behind the overspending, because rather than, buying a bunch of toys and outfits and shit that's just going to be out of style in a few months, we really want to think about how it is we use our money to create memories and to create experiences. And not only does that help us navigate or strengthen our spiritual discipline, it taps us more deeply into gratitude, and it gives us habits that bring us closer to being in our King of Pentacles, financially sound, financially abundant energy. Love that for us. All right, now we're gonna do the health reading. And then after I'm done with the health reading, I'll go ahead and take questions from the audience. I love that for you. That sounds so much fun. Mini holiday destination family vacation. That sounds amazing. When I think about younger me, teenage me, I think that I probably would have loved a family mini vacation over like Skechers and pleated skirts and all that other bullshit that I was getting for Christmas. So I think that that's amazing. Hello, Pure Heart. Good to see you. I feel like you've been here before. I don't remember. Um, but if you have been, welcome back. And if this is your first time, hello and welcome. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need as it relates to our mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness during the week of October 27th through November 2nd? Please give us insight into any habits we need to release, sustain, or increase in order to have good holistic health over these next 7 days. If there are any difficulties or blockages coming up, highlight that now so that we know how to treat it, and give us wisdom about the type of medicine we need, whether it's social, physical, or spiritual medicine. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. There are 17 people in the room. I truly, truly hope that I have at least 17 likes on this video. So if you've come into the room and you did not hit the like on that video, please take a moment to do so now. Some of you guys may not be in a position to give a financial love offering. If you can't do that, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And share this link with somebody that you know that would love this reading. Someone that can benefit from this reading. I think you guys have picked up on the fact that I kind of have a magnetic personality. That people like the way that I talk and that I speak. So you probably know at least one person on your social media, one person in your phone that would benefit from this wisdom. So go ahead and share if you can, okay? Ancestors, clarify the Six of Pentacles. What do we need to know about the Six of Pentacles? Some of you are avoiding going to the doctor because you may not have health insurance, or you fear that the bill is going to be too high. That is not a good enough of a reason to not get your care. Go get your checkups. Go to the doctor. If you have some sort of concerning health issue, go and get it looked at, especially because there are some of you that have travel coming up in the next 3 to 4 months. You really want to get your shit in order now so that it doesn't make you have to cancel this travel. But I'm not minimizing your concerns around money. We live in a capitalist society. This is a real thing. But I promise you that whatever this bill is that you're going to end up with, it will get paid and you won't have to pay for it, okay? Six of Pentacles, money that comes from institutions, charity, generosity, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Some of you guys are not getting the care you need because you don't have health insurance and you're worried about being financially stretched. But you need to rise above that fear and take care of yourself. Don't let your fears from the outside world or the things that other people have to say keep you from getting the care and the support that you need. Even if the money isn't there in the moment, there may be some sort of retroactive support that you get. But take your butt to the doctor, get your checkup. You have a lot coming up in your immediate future, and you need your good health. You need your good health. There may be some sort of medication or something you're going to be put on. And in order for you to be able to handle everything that's coming to you, you need to be aware of what's going on with your body. So this is not a wise time to let fear around finances keep you from going to the doctor, right? And again, there are other ways to get things paid for. That's why the Fool card is here. If you move through life with wisdom, if you allow yourself to be somebody who learns as you go, you will pick up wisdom to be able to handle the challenges that are in front of you. But if you sit there in fear and avoid what's going on with you, it only creates more difficulty. So the Fool card is coming up to say, okay, do the things you know you need to do, take the risk, and trust that it's going to work out. But again, I strongly believe it will work out with the Six of Pentacles because it is money that comes from institutions. So it may not be traditional health care, but there may be something that you can qualify for that gets your bills taken care of. Some of you all have, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, there's at least 2 people who are watching that have some sort of heart health issue. And you are convincing yourself that it's not that big of a deal just because your stamina is strong, right? Just because your vitality is strong. That's why this is coming up now. Yes, your vitality is strong now, but if you don't go ahead and get your checkup, go to the doctor, do what you need to do, it will drain you over time. 8 of Wands is also a card of stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Wouldn't you rather know ahead of time what's going on with your health so that you can go ahead and get things in order and taken care of other than have it sneak up on you? So again, if you don't have health insurance, or even if you have health insurance and you feel like it's not enough, you're going to end up with a bill. That does not need to be a reason why you don't get the care you need. Okay? Another thing that I'm seeing here is that you have to look at your doctor as your collaborator, right? 2 of Cups, reciprocity, pouring into someone. I think some of you guys, this is about looking at your doctor as your collaborator, yes, but also some of you guys don't want to acknowledge that you may have a health issue because you don't want to quote unquote burden the people in your life. That's fucking crazy. If people genuinely love you, they want to know that you have a health issue so they can pour into you. I'm saying this as somebody with chronic illness because I used to be this way. I used to be like, oh, I don't want nobody to bother me. And then when my dumb ass would end up in a hospital and people would find out after, they would get upset with me, right? People who love you want to be able to take care of you. They want to be able to pour into you. They want to make sure that you're all right. And it actually upsets them to know that something's going on with you and you didn't give them an opportunity to care for you. That's the thing about reciprocity. Reciprocity is not, okay, you give me $5 this week and the next week I give you 10. No, reciprocity is mutual care. And when people genuinely love you, being able to care for you is an honor to them. So again, stop avoiding your health because you're afraid of being somebody who has needs. That's ridiculous. The people who love you want to be able to make sure your needs are met. A lot of you guys are engaging in escapism because you don't want to deal with your health. You don't want to confront your health. You are brushing off certain symptoms. You are minimizing certain pains you have and deal with. Be careful. Nobody who's watching me right now is under the age of 17. We are all full adults. We are all grown city women. So you got to do the things you need to do to take care of yourself. So please do not minimize your symptoms. Do not avoid going to the doctor. Do not avoid the doctor because you don't want to end up with a bill. The bill will get taken care of. And it won't have to come out of your pocket. You need to believe that. There's too much money out here to not have your things covered. But take the risks and go get your health looked at because avoiding it is only going to cause you more difficulty in the long run. Okay? All right. That is the general reading for the week. I'll now start taking questions from the audience again. I know that some of you all did not get to take advantage of the thinning of the veil reading from Thursday. So on Thursday, we did talk a little bit about myths about ancestral veneration, the rise in Christian nationalism. If you missed happy hour reading, please consider going back and watching it. It was an amazing discussion. And during that reading, I did a 3-card spread called Thinning of the Veil. And that is a 3-card spread to give you insight into what your ancestors want you to prioritize, consider, and how they want to be honored for Fetgede or Day of the Dead. For those of you, I know everybody is not a voodooism, but a lot of us do practice spiritual practices where we honor Day of the Dead, where we honor that first weekend in November because we understand that the veil is thin and that we want to use that as a time to tap further into our ancestral connection. So if there's anybody that's interested in that thinning of the veil reading that did not get one on Thursday, my Cash App and my PayPal are scrolling below. Send your 1111 there. For everyone else who just has general questions, go ahead and start typing them in the comments section. I don't mean to be a bitch, but I have to start advocating for myself. I have to stand up for myself. I don't mind doing free readings, but if you are always here asking free questions and you've never even given me $3, so again, these are free questions, but even exchange is a thing. So just be mindful. Now, before I start doing readings, I do want to give updates. Again, Fetgede, Day of the Dead, is this coming weekend. In our honor of Fetgede and Day of the Dead, I am doing another sale on Ancestral Life Path readings. So from now until November 2nd, Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale for $80. I also am currently running my spooky season sale from now until November 2nd. If you place an order on my website that is more than $60, you can use the code SPOOKY, SPOOKY, to receive 25% off of your order. Okay? Okay, so I did mention to you guys that I launched I was launching a product last week, and I have launched it. I have a body wash called Rich Spirit. For those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that once a season I run a prosperity ritual called Rich Spirit. And I've taken the energy and the concept and the intentions of that ritual, and I've used it to craft a body wash that people can use on their own as a tool of enhancement for their own prosperity work in their home. The body wash does come with a list of suggested usages. So it comes with verses, prayers, suggestions on how to increase its efficacy, etc. So consider buying that. Right now, it's on an introductory price of $45. I'm taking pre-orders for that until November 2nd. And then it's $45, free shipping. After November 2nd, if you order it, it's going to be $60 plus shipping, okay? This is the last 5 days to sign up for Grace and Gratitude. Grace and Gratitude starts November 1st. That is our 21-day prayer and our 21-day prayer program that I run with Hunti Aja. $15 to participate. So consider joining us. You get daily handcrafted prayers, daily journal prompts to strengthen your relationship with gratitude. When we have a good relationship with gratitude, it naturally increases our abundance. You will also get weekly bespoke sound bath healing sessions from Hunti Aja. So that's $15 for 21 days of prayer support and sound bath healing. What else? I work a lot. I offer a lot. I got all kind of shit going on. So in order for me to not exhaust myself, I'm going to stop there. And then at the end, I will reiterate the things that I may have not have gotten to. Okay. So let's see. I'll have insurance from my new job starting next month and plan on getting. Okay, good, Josie. What are Jay's feelings and next actions for me? That is for Pure Heart. Pure Heart wants to know. Okay. And then La Ba Lin wants the thinning of the veil reading. So let me do Josie. Let me do La Ba Lin. And then After that, I'll do Nicole. And then from there, I'll just answer questions after that, okay? All right. And I'm going to be using Afro Anime to answer questions. I'm going to put this up on the screen so that I don't forget it. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me. What can you tell us about Jay's feelings towards Pure Heart? What does she need to know about Jay's feelings? Please illuminate anything that is unknown at this time. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Oh yeah, Josie, I'm sorry. I was sending that money to Aja. So thank you for that. Your name and her name are very similar. And I was half asleep when I sent it to you. So thank you for that. Thank you for sending it back. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get better about not working as soon as I open my eyes because I do goofy shit like that. Like I'll send money to the wrong person. I'll send emails to the wrong person. I cussed out a client once because I was half asleep and I thought I was cussing out my nigga. Like I just need to chill and exercise better boundaries. But I'm working on it. We're all human. Let's see. So Pure Heart, they would like to lock you down. They have genuine intentions towards you. When they think about you, they see you as a part of their lineage and their legacy. They see you as somebody that they can build family and legacy with. You bring up a lot of really good feelings for them. You make them feel seen. You light them up. Every time I think of the phrase "I'm baby," whenever I get the sun card, when I get the sun card in a love reading, I think of the song "I'm Baby" from Ombre, right? Where you make them feel like a huge priority. You make them light up. You make them feel like they're the most important person in the world. And they love that. They are generous of heart and they do want to spoil you. Even if their money is not right now, they think a lot about getting their money right so that they have enough to pour into you. I like this for you. I think that Jay has really good intentions and that he sees you as somebody who will be around for a long time, somebody that makes them light up, and somebody that they would love to be in the position to spoil. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back up. So, Laba Lynn, you said you wanted to do the thinning of the veil reading. So we'll do you next. I think this will be good because I think some of you guys haven't seen this reading. So hopefully it'll help you understand what the reading looks like. Hold on one second. I feel like I'm moving at half speed. Am I talking slow, y'all? It's because I'm sleepy. I'm still tired. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I know it's in here. I just did this a couple of days ago. So I know it's on here. Yeah, here it is. So card 1 is your ancestral message. Card 2 is the offering or the action you need to give to your spirits. Card 3 looks at the blessing or the outcome after Fedgede. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me. What does Laba Lynn need to be focused on as we enter the weekend of Fedgede or Day of the Dead? What do her ancestors want her to be focused on? How do they want to be honored by her? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And Nicole, I got you next, okay? I love this for you. Your ancestors have a lot of wisdom to give you between now and November 2nd, November 3rd, about where they see your future, particularly about the kind of finances they want you to have. So they're going to give you really deliberate advice around the seeds they want you to plant in terms of your future, your financial future. Don't be surprised if you have dreams where you're like going to the bank, or if you have dreams where you are in some sort of house. Pay attention to those things, write it down. All of that is information about what they want you to do to manifest those things and the steps they want you to take, particularly over the next 7 months in order to prepare you for the next 7 years. In terms of the offering or the action that you need to give them in order to strengthen your connection at this time, I hadn't even noticed that this was the Seven of Cups, but yeah, I just said pay attention to your dreams. They want you to do the same thing, right? You may feel antsy during this next week and like you have to have answers to things. You don't. They actually really want you to slow down at this time and pay attention to your dreams as well as the way that they speak to you, especially as it relates to the things you already have confusion about. They're going to be stepping up and giving you certain answers. So if you don't already have a dream journal, this is a really good and important time to have one. They really, connecting to you through your dreams is going to be really big over these next 7 or 8 days. So pay close attention. In terms of the blessing or the outcome for you post Fet Gede and after this weekend, we have the Judgment card. Don't be surprised if your clairaudience increases, especially as you continue to do this dream work, La Balin. Your ancestral connection is already really strong, but they have a lot to say to you right now. And the Judgment card is coming up, especially after the Seven of Cups, to let you know that these bigger questions that you've been grappling with, you're gonna get a lot of concrete answers. I feel like some of the answers you've gotten may have felt fuzzy, but clarity and like really clear, distinct instructions are coming to you over the next week and after. I hope that answered your question. Let me know how you felt about that. All right, Nicole, you are next. Janine. Okay, I got you, Janine. I trust you. I'll do the specialty reading for you, and then you can send me the money later this week. But let me do Nicole. I will be 53. So you don't even look like it. The black really don't crack. I will be 53 soon. My dreams have been more vivid, and I am remembering more of them. These downloads always have an older white man and reptiles, harmless ones. What's going on? Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom does. What wisdom does Nicole need about the dreams that she's having with the white man and the snakes? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm like 75 to 80% sure that that's a Loa. And I don't want to say on camera which one it is, because I don't want everybody to think that just because they have those type of dreams that that's what it is. But I'm let me shut up. I got you, Lovana. Yeah. 404-654-3246. Nicole. 404-654-3246. That's my business number. It's Aloha. It's Aloha. Those who know, look at that rainbow in the background. There's a particular Catholic saint that's syncretized with this particular Loa. So it makes sense that it's showing up to you as a white man, because sometimes the Loa will literally show up as the saints. They have wisdom to give you about this next phase of your life. Some things that you need to learn and some skill sets that you need to refine in order to show up transitioning from student as a teacher. It's not bad at all. It's a big gift and a big blessing. So don't look at it as anything bad. This energy has shown up for you throughout your life. It's vivid for you now because you are older in age, but if you look back in your childhood, you probably had dreams about this person, and you probably had dreams in terms of getting downloads and seeing reptiles, seeing snakes, things of that nature. So no, it's not bad. This particular Loa is a huge gift. It's not bad. It's not bad. And so here's the thing. I want to be very, very clear. Because just because the Loa show up for you, it doesn't mean that you need to initiate. It doesn't mean that you have to practice Vodou. Sometimes it's just because those Loa have messages for you. 404-654-3246. 404-654-3246. So no, it's not a bad thing. They have wisdom to give you. And I know I'm speaking in circles. I feel like the other Vodou people here know what I'm saying. And that's all that matters to me. But yeah. So I hope, yeah. Nothing bad. Absolutely nothing bad. They're here to help you sharpen your wisdom as you enter into this new phase of life. And there's a really particular way that you are supposed to be. And when I say showing up as a teacher, I don't mean that you have to teach other people about spirituality. I mean, as you step into this new level of elderhood, for lack of better words, there's wisdom that they have to give you around how you have influence over other people. I hope that made sense, because I'm talking in code. But let me go back up. So we did La Balin. We did, hold on. I know a couple other people sent offerings, and I want to honor those people immediately. Give me a second. Oh no, it was just Nicole and La Balin. Okay. So I did Nicole, I did La Balin. Let me see. I'll do Josie, Janine, and Lovana next. And then if I have energy after that, I'll do some more. Okay. Janine wants to know, where should I consider moving and if it's a good time. Where should Janine consider moving and is it a good time? Ancestors, angels, ascended master, spirits that walk with me. Can someone explain the thinning of the veil reading to Josie? I explained it a couple times, but I want to try to get through Janine's reading first. Ancestors, angels, ascended master, spirits that walk with me. Elevated ancestors, should Janine consider moving at this time? If so, where should they move? What wisdom do they need about moving? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. The thinning of the veil reading does come with a set price, Sierra. It's $11.11. If you want to give more, you're welcome to, but the minimum price is $11.11. My Cash App and my PayPal are both scrolling below. So just send your offering, and then I will put you in the queue once I receive it. Let's see. You need to do some spiritual work on the matter to manifest the proper conditions to move, Janine. So is a move due for you? Absolutely. This is not a good time. You'll know when it's a good time because it'll feel right intuitively. But the magician is saying that you got to do some spiritual work around it. You got to do some work to call in the money, to call in the proper circumstances. You really want to move like you're feeling a fire under your butt, right? Knight of Wands is a really impulsive energy. And I think that because of a lot of the things that are going on within and around you right now, you feel like moving and getting away and just literally going would be the solution. But with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, now's not a good time. They really want you to take your time to plan, to plot, to do some work, to call in the good circumstances, and wait for the wheel to be in your favor. So that is the answer. You're good, Josie. I'm about to do a thinning of the veil reading for Janine right now, so you'll get to see what it looks like, okay? Again, this is a reading that I came up with to help people prepare for Fekgere. Fekgere is the Vodou equivalent of Day of the Dead. It is a weekend in which we honor the ancestors, and we also get wisdom from the Gere, which are the spirits that represent the dead. They represent the graveyard. A lot of cultures have some sort of equivalent, right? So, for example, in Latino Chicano culture, they celebrate Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead. A lot of cultures believe, and it's true, that that period of time between October 31st and November 2nd to November 3rd, that's when the veil is the thinnest. That's when we make the most contact with the spirits in our court and with our ancestors. So this is a reading that is to help people understand what their ancestors want them to be focused on, how they want to be honored during this time, and what wisdom will come into their life after that weekend is over, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me. What do Janine's ancestors want her to consider and be mindful of during this Fekgere weekend? What is the wisdom that they have to pour into her? How do they want to be honored? How will her life be blessed after the weekend is over? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Thank you so much, Lavalin. I'm going to put this up even though I'm answering Janine's question so that way people can consider whether or not they want to receive this reading. Okay. And Lovana, I'll do you next, and then after that, I'll do Sierra, and then if there are other people, I'll go through the list from there. Okay. All right, Janine. So your ancestral message, what your spirits really want you to focus on right now. Meditation and stillness. So temperance is a really interesting card. For me, temperance often comes up because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't feel connected to my spirits. I don't know what they're saying. Temperance is like a really loving and spiritual way of saying, sit down and shut the fuck up, right? Because, like, and what I mean by that is that it's stillness, it's being quiet, it's being meditative that will give you the opportunity to listen and hear spirit long enough to get the answers, right? Temperance is a similar but different energy to the magician. The magician is like, I have all the tools I need to solve my problems. I just need to learn how to use the tools. Temperance is, I need to sit in stillness so that I can be in the flow of the elements and understand how to work with what I have, how to create something different, right? So when we pray, we speak to spirit. When we meditate, we hear them. So you need to spend more time in meditation and in reflection so that you can even hear and understand the answers that your spirits are kind of already trying to give you right now. Now, in the position of how your spirits want to be honored, prayer and meditation is going to be really important for you this week. They want you to spend more time writing down your requests. You feel very deeply and you know you need things, but it's almost like you don't even know how to ask them. This is why they want you to sit your ass down and be still. You don't even really know how to ask them or how to pray to them properly because you're not writing things down. Queen of Swords literally is the card of the writer. She's the author. She processes her emotions through writing. You're not journaling enough. You're not writing your own prayers. You need to spend this next week doing that. Every day, sit down and journal for at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not that long. If you want to go longer, then do it, but at least 10 minutes. Instead of panicking and worrying over the things you're carrying, write them into prayers, okay? But you need to start channeling your emotions into the written word. And that's really what they want you to do right now. What comes after this is that you will be able to start you have a lot of heartbreak. You and I have talked about it. We don't have to talk about it in detail on camera. Right now, you feel really stuck and stagnated by your heartbreak. If you can spend more time in meditation, and if you can channel your worries into written prayers and written affirmations and written petitions, that will help you be able to put some action into place and will allow you to move beyond your hurt. That will make you move beyond the things that are depressing you and get you to understand what you actually do have in your favor in terms of opportunity and ability to move forward, okay? So, short answer, Janine, your spirits really want you to take this week to meditate, to write prayers, to write petitions. And the gift that comes if you can really be disciplined enough to spend your time over this next week doing that and seeing that as a way of working with them, right? Then that helps you move over this hump that makes you feel stuck right now, okay? All right. So we got Lovana, we got Sierra. I see you, Josie. Then we got Josie, okay? Lovana, then Sierra, then Josie. If there's anyone else that has sent in a love offering that for the Thinning of the Veil reading and I accidentally skipped you, say something in the comments because I'm trying to get to everybody. My mom received an offer on her house and would like to know if she should take this offer or not. Okay, Lovana. First of all, congratulations to her. You're welcome, Janine. Congratulations to her because I know that that's something she's been working on for a minute now. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits to walk with me. Should Drina take the current offer that she received on her home? Should she take this offer? If so, what would be the benefits? If not, why not? What is the best way for her to move forward with this offer? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. accidentally did a 6-card reading. Yeah, she should take the offer. She should take the offer. If she has concerns, because the moon card is here, and the moon card talks about hidden fears. If she has concerns, she needs to go ahead and verbalize those to the people who are interested now. They low-key have more money than what they are offering. So if that's a concern, if she intuitively feels like they're not offering enough, she needs to say that. And don't be afraid that that's going to deter them, right? It's just time to go ahead and wrap this up. This has been a more stressful process than I think she encountered or anticipated it. So this is time for this to end. We also have the moon card here, which talks about hidden fears. So I can understand the reservation. But then also we have the 4 of Swords, which talks about a need to rest. So the sale of this house needs to go ahead and be wrapped up so that she can rest. She can have peace. She can let this go. 8 of Cups talks about her being able to walk away and leave this behind so she can really focus on what her next steps are, what she wants to get into next. She's going to feel really confident and good about this once it's done. So I don't see this being anything that she carries any regret around. And again, with this moon card, this Queen of Wands, and this Knight of Cups, these people are really genuine about this offer. They're serious about this offer. They really want this property. So again, she can get a little bit more if she asks for it, right? It might not be like 100K more. It may be just like 15 or something. But there is a little bit of wiggle room in terms of getting more. But overall, I see that, again, with this 10 of Swords, it's like stop prolonging it. Something is going, what am I trying to say, Spirit? It may not be the most perfect offer in the world, but the next one isn't going to be as good as this one. And that's why the 10 of Swords is coming up. It's saying, go ahead and take it. And manage your fears. Manage whatever hidden fears or expectations that are coming up through the moon card. But I see this being just take the offer. Take the offer. I see it as being a good option. I hope that answered your question. My apologies. All right. So Sierra is next. We'll do Sierra, then we'll do Josie. So Sierra, and I'm just putting, even though your question's already been answered, I'm just putting it up so that I remember you, because I feel myself getting tired and I'm gonna forget names. We'll do Sierra, then we'll do Josie. If there's anyone else, go ahead and put in your question now or send your love offering, and I will get to you. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors, what does Sierra need to know that will help her to connect more deeply with her ancestors in preparation for Fekere? What is the wisdom that they want her to have? How do they want her to honor them? What blessings and insight lies ahead of her after Fekere is over? And you with some share, it is deeply appreciated. I don't know why I feel emotional. So Sierra, it's been a while since I've talked to you. I don't know if you've been dealing with a crisis of faith, but the Star card is coming up for you. So they really want you to have hope and work on your faith. They want you to not only believe that things are going to improve for you if you have been going through a rough time, but just generally, they want you to work on your faith in yourself and your faith in your relationship to them, right? Understanding that if you just believe um, in your spiritual connection, that's what matters most. It's not really about other people. Star card is very much a personal card, right? There's a lot of vulnerability in having faith, even if you're surrounded by other people who have their spiritual suspicions or whatever. So they're here to let you know that A, things are about to improve for you, if that's been a concern for you, but B, they really want you to work on strengthening your faith, right? Um, in the position of how they want you to honor them, what the offering is that you can do at this time. Um, Continue to strengthen your relationship to prayer. Continue to work on trusting them. I give me the words, ancestors. I don't know who you spend your time with. That may sound like a weird thing to say. Um, but these are two really powerful cards. And whenever the star card comes up with the high priestess to me, it's the message is always kind of like your spiritual journey is your business, right? The star card being about believing in yourself no matter what's going on around you, no matter what other people say. And then the high priestess being about there are conversations and there are downloads and there are points of spiritual wisdom that your spirits are going to give to you that really aren't other people's business, right? Again, when we think about that traditional representation of the high priestess, she has that veil behind her, and that's to represent the fact that she's a guardian of that veil. And what the spirits tell her is her business, and everybody doesn't get to have access to what's behind that, right? So it's like your spirits are about to tell you a lot of things and give you a lot of insight and wisdom. And your journey and your responsibility is to learn to trust what your spirits say to you. Because if you are too dependent on external validation, you may fuck around. And this gets into the last card, which talks about the insight that comes after, right? You may fuck around and say things to people who are going to put doubt and suspicion in you because they don't want you to understand how powerful you are. Now I understand why I was fooling, because I had that happen to me. I had somebody really, like, literally gaslight me into believing that I wasn't receiving certain downloads or information from spirit, that I was making it up. And then I had to, without saying too much, I had to get counsel from someone else to be like, oh yeah, this is really strong with you, of course, right? But again, I didn't know how to trust myself. So your offering is to, in this time between now and when Fed Gate is over, to really lean into your prayer and to lean into your trust and strengthening your trust with your ancestors, with your spirits in your court. And then the blessing and the outcome that comes after is that you stop seeking external validation around who you are as a priestess, right? Page of Swords is the card of the honor student. They can be really dependent on what the teacher, they have a deep need to be the teacher's pet. And they can be hyper dependent on external validation. And then when they don't get that external validation from the teacher, from the other students, from whoever they see as authority, it can make them not only lash out at other people, but treat themselves poorly. Another thing that Page of Swords can do is that they can run their mouths too much because they're so in need of external validation. So they can get wrapped up in gossip. They can overshare their own business. You get a sharpening of your discernment after Fekete is over. And if you really prioritize this journey and this work over these next 7 to 8 days, it strengthens you in a way where you learn to trust yourself more deeply. Okay? I hope that was helpful for you. All right, Josette, and then I feel like one more person just submitted. Hold on a second. Let me. No, it's just Josette. Okay, so I'm gonna do Josette with the thinning of the veil. If there's no one else after Josie, then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Okay. I hope that that was helpful for you, Sierra. Let me know. Yes, sisters, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. What does Josie need to know in preparation for Fekete? How do her ancestors want to be honored during this time? What messages and wisdom do they have for her? And what are the blessings that lay on the other side of this holiday? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Two of Cups fell out in reverse, but I'm not going to include that as a part of the reading. I'm just going to set that to the side and see if or how it informs your spread, okay? Sierra, you here? Was that helpful for you? Did that resonate with you? No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. I said Sierra. Damn spying ass iPhone. All right. So the ancestral message, what your ancestors really want you to focus on right now, Josie, is your legacy, how you fall into the broader role of legacy within your family's lineage, right? They want you to really be thinking about generational wealth, but not just in terms of money and the physical things you leave behind. What is the wisdom? What are the healthy habits? And what is your role in that, right? They want you to know, although Ten of Pentacles imagery is often smiling, sometimes the things we have to do to bring legacy and to bring change to our families may not feel good in the moment, right? Ten of Pentacles is also a card of breaking generational curses or, solidifying generational patterns. So that's what they really want you to be thinking about. That's something that they are prioritizing for you as you go into Fekete. How they want you to honor them and to venerate them. If you do not already, the message is twofold. The first is literal. If you do not already have some sort of dagger or some sort of knife on your ancestral altar, you need to secure one this week and go ahead and start praying over it and enchanting it for protection, right? So that's the first meaning. The second meaning is that you could benefit from some more meditation as well. But specifically, the message is not around meditation. My apologies. Let me pull that back. The meditation is necessary, yes. I'm doing a lot of flame reading for you because your spirits really talk through fire. I don't know if you already knew that, Josie, but your spirits talk through fire. If I had the proper setup, I wish you could see what my candle's doing right now. More meditation, yes, but because they have wisdom to give you around strengthening your protection rituals and habits. Your protection regimen is overdue for a refinement, and they're going to give you a lot of wisdom around what that looks like. So, yes, give them the knife or the dagger to honor them, but also meditate more than you typically do during this week because they're going to give you wisdom around how to shift your protection regimen. What is on the other side of this holiday in terms of blessings? We have the Six of Wands. So your friendship circle is about to change. It's about to expand in a way that gives you a lot of increase with people who want to see you successful. Now, that's not to say that your current friendship circle doesn't want to see you successful. They just kind of don't have access to the kind of stuff that's going to propel you forward, right? That's part of the reason why they want you to shift your protection regimen. With the kind of blessings that are coming into your life, it'll bring the hater out of even the most loving person. I don't know any other way to say that, right? So there's increase coming into your life in terms of your public profile and also your social circle. I see now why the Two of Cups fell out in reverse. Even though this spread in and of itself was highly focused on your legacy and protection, I think that there are people in your life that you are going to fall out of favor with, but it's not because you did anything wrong. It's because these people are not reciprocal for you. They almost don't know how to be reciprocal. They don't know how to not drain. And part of the protection that your spirits are going to call you to, whether you ask for it or not, is to eliminate people from your life who don't know how to be comfortable with seeing you win and who want to take too much from you. I hope that made sense. That felt different than the last couple because I wasn't really using the candle that heavy. Josie, you here? Did you get your message? Let me know if you got your message. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Again, spooky season sale going on until November 2nd. So if you want to get an in-person reading with me, if you want to purchase the Rich Spirit Body Wash, if you want to purchase classes, anything of that nature, all orders over $60 you can receive 25% off on my website if you use the code SPOOKY, SPOOKY. Rich Spirit Prosperity Ritual. Last round is going to take place November 10th through the 13th. The deadline to sign up is November 8th. If you're interested in joining us, click that link below. Again, Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale. Shadow work consultations are on sale. Erotic power sessions are on sale. Those are all readings that are already on sale, but you can get additional discount when you use the code SPOOKY, SPOOKY, at checkout to get additional 25% off. Patreon class on Tuesday. So if you know that you want to strengthen your spiritual walk, learn about the foundations of magic, but you're not necessarily ready for a mentorship program, check out my Patreon. We have classes, Patreon exclusive classes, every 2 to 3 weeks. And in speaking of Fekgede, we're going to be talking about how to use the energy around the thinning of the veil to strengthen your protection work. That's what Tuesday's class is about. So if you want to join us, go ahead and join the Patreon now. I'll see y'all Thursday. We'll do Astral Hour on Thursday because we do have some big placements coming up. We just did Happy Hour. Go back and watch the Happy Hour reading from last week if you didn't get to, because we do talk about myths around ancestral veneration, the rise in Christian nationalism, and how that is unfortunately going to result in a lot more spiritual ignorance when it comes to African traditional religion. Love you all. See you Thursday. Take care. Have a blessed and great weekend.